Happy Friday, everyone. Fabie here with Blush and Ivy Design, Redesign with Prima Brand Ambassador. And today I have a fun project that we're going to be working on. So I want to show you guys today how to make a cool Valentine's Day porch sign. And what I'm using is I am using the Violet Hill Transfer. And I used a little teeny bit of the Rose Celebration and another teeny bit of the Lush Floral, but mainly it's being done in the Violet Hill Transfer. You can use any transfer, of course, but I just felt that these had like the most floral patterns on it, which I thought were really perfect for this project. So also it's a great project to do, for instance, if you have a lot of extra little like snippets from when you have done like scraps. This is a great project on how you can use like your scraps. So high rise. So this is a great way to use all your scraps and recycle those so you don't, have to toss them or anything like that. I like making these porch signs. I think they're super fun. And they look super cute too. So I'm gonna start at the top of the sign. So this is the top, and I've added just like a little bit of this twine here just to add a little bit of extra, So let me bring it in here. Make sure you guys can see me okay. All right, there we go. And so what I've done is I have cut out letters just like this. And I've done a combination of cutting them out by hand. You can see here, I just basically took the transfer and flipped it on its back and then just kind of traced the letters on the back, and then I just cut it. So then now we're left with the letter. You can also use a Cricut. I've used a Cricut in the past. If you do want to use the Cricut, I recommend that you mirror the image and cut with the transfer portion down on the mat. So this way, since this is very delicate, you don't want the blade to like it can snag it basically. So you want to make sure that if you're going to do this on the Cricut, that you flip the image down, mirror the setting on the Cricut, and then you can cut it out that way. I did it freehand, so I just took a ruler and I just traced them. So you get the same effect, but of course it's easier with the Cricut, but it's fine. It works. So today I am going to be doing a Valentine's Day porch sign, which I think is super fun. And I'm going to be doing the word, it's going to say "Be Mine" on it, which is kind of reminds me of the little, what are those little candies with the little hearts? They're like little hearts. I think you guys all know what I'm talking about. They're like, I forget what they're called. But they have like a bunch of different sayings. So I know that the "Be Mine" is like, it just reminds me of that. So I'm gonna start at the top of the sign, and I just kind of took a little bit of the script from the, let's see, what is this? This one is the Rose Celebration. Hold on, this is part of the Violet Hill Transfer, and I want to add these little letters here because I am obsessed with script. So anytime I can add some script in there, I am gonna add it. So I just removed the white backing, and I'm just gonna gently press down on the transfer onto the surface, which I'm using a wooden board that I just painted. Looks like this. I just painted it, and I believe it's about 4 feet tall, 4 feet high. So I'm just gonna take the wooden stick that comes with the transfer. It's in the tube. Just start rubbing from top to bottom, ensuring that it transfers correctly onto the surface. And you want to make sure that you're pressing with enough force, but you don't want to be rough, so just take your time and just make sure that everything is transferring properly. Let me come around the other side so you can see. So I'm kind of blocking it with my hand. I think this is better. Yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and just I like to do like short little, rub it like in short little motions here, and then just kind of start lifting as I go so that I can see what is adhering and what isn't. And if it's not transferring, then I just simply go back and add more pressure until it does. So it's very simple. And so you can make all sorts of signs. I made one during the holiday season, and it said, gosh, I can't remember now what it said. I believe it said Happy Holidays. And I used the gingham, the black gingham on that transfer, which was perfect for that time of year. And on that sign, I actually was a 6-foot sign, and it worked out perfectly. So this is just another option on how you can use any transfer you like. I recommend that you use a transfer that has a lot of coverage, so like not a lot of empty space, because obviously you want your letters to be solid, because if not, then you'll have holes, and then you won't be able to tell what the letters are, so that kind of defeats the purpose. So yeah, and where's everybody joining me from today? I'd love to hear. How's everyone doing? All right, so I'm gonna start with this letter here, and this is the B, and this is done in Rose Celebration. I wanted to add a little bit of different contrast to it, so I went ahead and used different transfers that I had. So I'm just gonna go ahead and remove the backing, which is this protective. This is the protective sheet that comes on the actual transfer, and the transfer looks like this. And so we're just gonna turn it and then just apply it where we want it to go. And I'm pretty much just kind of eyeballing it. It doesn't have to be like exact, of course, you know, you want it to be level. Obviously you don't want it to be not like crooked or anything. So just make sure that it's level and press down on it. It can get a little tricky because now, since we did cut out the letters, what happens is that there's no like little corner to lift, but very simple. Just you can use a razor blade kind of just to lift up, but I don't see this one giving us any issues. But if that happens, just use a little razor blade, because usually the transfers do come with an edge, so you're able to lift from that little edge. But since I cut it to make the letters, that little edge is gone, but not a problem. Okay, so let me start lifting this little edge here so I can show you. See how usually we would have a little edge there where I can just grab and lift. So there we go. But I was able to get under there. So you see that? So just be very gentle. And like I mentioned, you can cut these letters out by hand, or you can use any kind of cutting machine that you may have. And you can have it say whatever you want. You can make it as big as you want, as small as you want. It's a great option to use those scrap pieces that you may have left over from any project. You can mix transfers, totally fine. I would say just get creative with it and just create something that's going to be to your liking. So there we go. We have the B on there. Hi, Michelle from Madison, Alabama. How's the weather out there? So you can see here, this transfer has a little bit of a missing portion here. So my B has a little bit of a gap here. So that's what I was mentioning earlier. You want to make sure that your transfer is fully like a solid, like this one. This way you don't get any like little gaps like that. But that's no biggie. What I'll do is I'll just come in here and just use a little paint just to fill those little gaps in there. And so we're just gonna go ahead and move on to the next one and just kind of make sure that it's lined up and even, because you don't want it to be crooked. Just kind of eyeballing it. And of course you could always just like mark where you want to place the letters, but I like to do things just kind of like on the go. Oh, that's nice. We have, it's fully raining here in California. We got hit with a winter storm. So yeah, we've been like, I believe it's about 48 degrees today here in Southern California, and it's storming. But we don't mind because we don't get very much rain as it is, so we definitely welcome it. Okay. And so again, just very carefully lift that corner, just like so. And you can see how easily the transfer just like transfers right onto the surface. Very, very easy to transfer. What projects are you guys working on this weekend? I'd love to hear. Are you guys using any Redesign with Prima products this weekend? All right, and then just very gently, we're lifting, making sure we're not ripping any of the transfer. And there you can see that that is fully attached. Hi, Lori from Louisiana. And so now this one, we're gonna move on to the M. And so this one will be a little easier because you see here how it has like that little area that I was mentioning earlier. They usually, well, all the transfers come with like a little edge. So it just makes it a lot easier to get under there. But when I cut the letters out, for instance here, there's no more edge. So very simple still, you can still do it, but you just gotta be a little careful because you don't wanna rip the transfer. So I'm just gonna make sure that this is even and where I want it to be. So there, and I'm just gonna remove again the backing. And these are also, I think these are really, really cool that you can even give these like as gifts, or I don't know, maybe sell them on Etsy or something different. I see welcome signs and stuff like that, but I know that there's not like anything with like a pattern on it, with the letters having a pattern. So that's something that's really nice. Let me move this up so you guys can see. Here we are. We are at the M now. So that's where I want it to be. So I'm just gonna press down to kind of gently put it in place. And then just gonna take the wooden stick again. We're gonna do the rubbing motion. And so once I'm done with the sign, I will be protecting this with a water-based polyurethane. And this way, since it will be outside, this will protect it from that. Has anybody ever done this before? Maybe made a sign or used your leftover transfers to create letters and do something similar to this? All right, so here we go. All right, so got that little corner lifted. Oh, that's cute, Roz. It's so much fun just to create. And you just really just got to get creative. I mean, you can use these transfers in so many different ways, which is what's amazing about them. I'm always super excited when I see people using the transfers in different ways that, you know, maybe we didn't think about, and that's always really, really cool. So I'm always excited to hear about new ways that people are using the transfers. All right, so we're just gonna continue rubbing the transfer and transferring it over onto the wooden board, making sure that it's all adhered before lifting, and because we want to make sure that that it's all attached to the surface. So also want to mention that when you are transferring the transfer onto the surface, just be careful. If you go too fast, you run the risk of having this portion here, when the transfer is attached to it, flip under, and it will stick to itself and it'll ruin the transfer. So just be gentle. So you want to do firm pressing, but you want to go slow, just to make sure that you're not going to damage the transfer. So, but as you can see, it transfers so easily, which is a beautiful thing. Yes, the grid lines help tremendously. So that's one of the greatest things that Prima did, is add those grid lines. They're so easy and so helpful. They help you line everything up perfectly, and yeah, so it makes everybody's job a lot easier. So I'm gonna place that there so you guys can see what transfer I'm using. And I also used just one letter is made out of the Lush Floral II, and then one letter was used from the rose celebration, which was the B, just because I wanted to add a little contrast. So that's why I went ahead and added that there. And let me move this guy up, throw this trash out here really quick, and we're gonna move up a little more so we can work on the next letter here. Here we go. And so just gonna kind of eyeball where I wanna place this one. And so this one does have the little edge, so it makes it very easy for me just to remove the backing, and just like so. And so now we're just gonna place it, make sure that it's even. Kind of want it, you want to make sure that you're kind of that you have like the same space between here and here and here and here. So kind of want to make sure that all of the spacing is the same. And so that looks about right. So I'm just going to go ahead and press down just to get that to stay in place. And then same thing, we're going to take our wooden stick and rub the transfer onto the board. And you can use, in essence, you can make this sign like with the round, like that round wooden board, so you can hang it on your door. You can do the background in any color, you can stain it. I chose to go with white just because I like the contrast between the dark letters and the white here. So I'm just going to lift here on the corner here to get the letters off. And so like I mentioned earlier, you can do these letters by hand. You can use a template. You can also use your any kind of cutting machine you have, like the Cricut, for instance. I've used the Cricut before. It's very simple that way. This time I decided to freehand it. So I just used a ruler and a pencil and just drew out the letters on the back of the actual protective sheet on here. As you can see, all my markings, yeah. And I did do a pencil though because I kept messing up, but it was fine. I was able to erase it. So, but yeah. So here we go. Oh, that's pretty. Yes, the tissue paper is great. Yes, that's a great option. Do you cut it by hand or do you use the Cricut? Michelle Porter, how do you cut your letters out? All right, let's see. All right, here we go. I'm gonna lift this little corner here. Let's do this really fast. There it goes. So I'm just making sure that it's all attached here. I'd love to hear what you guys are working on this weekend. I have a desk I'm going to be working on. I'll be back live on Monday doing another demo for you guys on a desk. So I hope that you guys swing by here and join me. Okay, so the eye is on there now. Look at how cute that looks. Okay, I'm going to show you guys how it's looking so far. Okay, Michelle, that's awesome. Yeah, I'd love to see that. I know it looks amazing. So I'm going to move this up and then we're going to do the last two letters here. And so just kind of, again, just gonna look at it and just gonna kind of, okay, so we're removing the protective backing, right? We all know that. And then we're gonna be very gentle. We don't want it to stick onto itself. And then we're wanting to make sure that the transfer has enough, like that all the spacing matches. You can mark where you want your transfer to go. That's always an option. I tend to just eyeball it. So there's the N, and so the sign is, it says be mine, and it'll be perfect for this upcoming holiday, Valentine's Day. And I love to decorate the porch, so anytime I can make a sign, I am going to do it. And of course, I always like to be different. So I love that I'm able to use these transfers to make the letters because I've never seen any like this before. So really, really fun way to use the transfers. Okay, so here we go. You want to make sure that everything is attached to the board before you start lifting, so you don't want to rip the transfer. So here we go. Thanks, Michelle. Oh, what are you going to do with that MCM? Oh, you're so sweet. I love MCMs. They're my favorite to do. What are you planning on doing to that MCM? Have you decided on a color yet? Yes, Davis, definitely cut out any shape that you want. You can use them in so many ways. You'd be surprised how many different ways you can use these transfers. Definitely give it a try. I was mentioning earlier that it's a great way to use like your scrap transfers that you have. You can cut out shapes and use them in different ways, make signs. Okay, here we go. All right, let's see here. I see people saying that there's 2 lives at the same time. The lives get shared across different groups, so that might be what you're seeing there. So the live will get transferred, like shared in different groups. So it's the same live, just being shared to different groups. And so now we're at the last letter guide. Oh, well, maybe it would help if I remove the back. All right, so let's remove the back. I got thrown off a little bit for a minute there. We're gonna remove the backing, and then we're going to just add this on here. Just eyeball where it needs to be. And so I'd love to hear, will you guys be trying this? Trying to make, yeah, even if they are both redesign, it's being shared across multiple redesign pages. So that's what you're seeing. Will anybody be trying this? I'm excited to know if you guys will be trying to make your own sign, or make letters and shapes. So this letter here, I used the Lush Floral, which is what I was mentioning, because I wanted to pull in like all of these purples. And so yeah, I used that, the Lush Floral for this E here. I'm excited to hear that, Lori. Yes, Davis, I'm excited to hear that. Michelle, pinks are always great for MCMs. I love pink. Anything pink, blush pink, any sort of pink I love. That would be a great option with some raw wood on there. That would look amazing. I would love to see you share your project, Michelle Porter. I'd love to see what you create. So here we are. We're almost at the end here. And I'm just going to add one additional extra touch at the top of this wooden sign to complete the look. And I am going to add some more twine to the bottom as well, because we have a little bit of extra space here. So I'm just going to wrap some twine around that really quickly as soon as I can find the twine. Or we're not gonna do that, and I'm just gonna bring the sign back down, and here's what it looks like. And I am gonna add a flower here with some hot glue just to kind of complete the look. And then I'm gonna take the camera so that you guys can get a better view of the whole sign. So I'm just gonna take this flower I'm just gonna add it on here with some hot glue. Kind of move it up a little because we don't want it to cover the letters. And I'd love to see that, Michelle, thank you. All right, so here we go, guys. I'm gonna take you guys off of the tripod, so bear with me. It's gonna be a little shaky. Okay. You see how cute that is? And then once I add the twine down here at the bottom, it'll be complete, and then you'll be able to see it. See how cute this is. I will take a picture. It's kind of hard to see it at this angle. I'll take a picture of it, and then I'll post it to the Redesign with Prima group. But here you go. You can kind of see it here. How cute is that, right? It's super easy. And then it's going to be something different that nobody else has because no one else has these. And so I hope that I gave you guys another idea on what to do with those transfers, especially like your scraps. Like if you have scraps, don't toss those, save them, make a sign. It doesn't have to necessarily be this big. You can make a smaller sign with a round piece of wood if you don't have that many scraps left over. But there are so many options for that. So it reads, "Be mine." You see that? And so now what you want to do is you're definitely going to want to seal this because you don't want it to get damaged with the weather, of course. So use a water-based polyurethane. That's what I like to use. And then this way it stays protected when you have the sign outside on your porch. But yeah, so again, let's go over what I used. I used the Rose Celebration, then I did Violet Hill on these ones. And then I did, what is this one called? The Lush Floral II on these ones. And I did add a link on where you guys can find your local retailer if you don't know where you have one or where you can shop online. It's included in this live. And as always, you guys can find me. Okay, so Andrea, I cut out the letters by hand. You can definitely use a Cricut machine if you have one. But yeah, I just cut them by hand. So I use the back of the letter, so the white paper that comes on the back of the transfer, and I just used a ruler to kind of like measure out, draw out the letters. And then that was it. Just cut them out, and then that's what we're left with. Very easy and a fun project to work on. And if you're going to use, again, if you're going to use like a Cricut machine, I do recommend that you flip the transfer where this clear part is on the mat and you have the white on the top, and mirror your image so that it comes out correctly. But yeah, so here is another look. And just make sure that if you do try this, that you seal it, because since it will be outside, if you're going to put it outside, you don't want it to get damaged. So that is going to be the best way to protect it. Wax or a water-based polyurethane. But yeah, so as always, you guys can find me on all social media under Blush and Ivy Design. I will be back on Monday to do another demonstration on a desk for you guys, but you can find me here every Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope you guys all have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.